We're back. Oh my God, it is so nice to be back. The majority of Vloggers Leap's second lift hill has come down. Yo, what is going on guys? My name is TheJackSilkstone and welcome back to yet another Project Exodus construction update. That's right, I'm back at the Thorpe Park Resort after a week's trip over to LA and unfortunately missing quite a bit of Project Exodus construction. I am so happy to be back here today. Unfortunately, the weather is not quite as good as it was over in LA. I'm absolutely freezing today. We arrived yesterday to snow. But yeah, as I said, now that I'm back, I'm heading straight over to the Project Exodus construction site. We literally landed in the evening yesterday, and I said I'd come straight from Heathrow. Unfortunately, it was a bit too dark to come and get some construction footage. But it's literally the morning after getting back now. And yeah, I'm here bright and early, ready to get as much footage as possible. I think, there's still a little bit of Vloggers Leap's second lift hill still remaining. I missed the majority of it and I'm absolutely gutted. But yeah, I think there's a little bit left for me to capture coming down. So yeah, I'm not gonna hang around. I'm gonna make my way straight over to Old Town and see how much has changed. Let's go. It's so good to be back though. We're back. Oh my God, it is so nice to be back within the Project Exodus construction site. It's actually a very quiet day here on site. There's literally just one digger working behind this big pile of rubble. And apart from that, there's not a lot else going on, which isn't necessarily a bad thing because on these quieter days, it means I'm able to kind of get a bit more access to the entire area because there's obviously not construction vehicles working and driving about. So I don't necessarily have to wait for them to stop working to go and check stuff out. So I don't know if it's just because people are on break, but I'm definitely going to take advantage of this situation of a nice and quiet Exodus construction site. And yeah, I'm gonna have a wander around, see what I can see, and I'll definitely be making my way over to Vloggers Leap. There is definitely still a bit of that second lift hill there. You probably can't see it in this camera shot, but yeah, I'll make my way over there and show you guys. Just whilst I'm here at the entrance to the site, however, it's worth noting that this little area behind me is actually a lot more open than it was before I left. So previously, obviously this was just woodland, a few months ago. Obviously you had lumber jump here, timber tug just there, and this was all just trees. And then obviously you had the service road that went right down where platform 15 is. But as I said, they were kind of clearing out that area so that they could presumably get cranes and construction vehicles down to help them take out Vloggers Leap's second lift hill. But yeah, this area here just feels so open now. And this is actually where the maintenance bay for Project Exodus is gonna be. So they'll be carrying out all of the maintenance on the rides trains just in here. And then yeah, obviously the ride station will be right there. But yeah, this whole area is so open now. Again, it's just pushing back the boundaries of Old Town. I think that's what the main focus of these videos is going to be over the next few months. It's just going to be how Old Town is going to start growing. Because obviously now that the majority of the buildings and deconstruction of Old Town has taken place, the next kind of section is the foundation work and preparing the ground ready to build this massive coaster. And you have a lake infill as a massive part of that. So yeah, that's going to be a big part of these videos coming up. But for now, as I said, I'm going to take advantage of a nice and quiet Project Exodus construction site. Let's have a little wander around. So, as you can see behind me, the majority of Vloggers Leap's second lift hill has come down. It's what I expected. There is, as I said, a little bit further down. I don't think you can quite see it in this camera shot, but I'm gonna head down there in just a second. But yeah, it's so strange to think that even under 2 weeks ago, I was stood in that exact spot saying my final goodbyes to this ride. And now the entire thing has pretty much come down. Once again, I'm absolutely gutted that I missed this thing coming down. It's one of the biggest things that I wanted to see taken down during this entire process. And yeah, it just so happened that the 1 week I booked to go away is when the majority of it all happened. As I said, if it wasn't such a big trip and I was going over to America, I would have cancelled it in a heartbeat. But it's one of these things, like, it was booked before I even knew if Project Exodus was going to go ahead. So yeah, it's a very tricky one and I'm absolutely gutted, but it is what it is. It's one of those things, and I can only apologise to you guys that I obviously wasn't able to get that footage. But from this point onwards, believe me guys, I'm literally going to be planning my life around this construction site and this roller coaster. So don't worry, be sure to subscribe to the channel because I plan on missing nothing else in the construction of this ride. But yeah, let me take you over to where the base is. I'm actually struggling to walk. It's that muddy. Look how peppered my shoes are right now. It's so muddy here on site. But yeah, literally this exact spot here is where I obviously stood and touched the bottom of Loggers Leap's second drop for that very last time. And as you can see, it is now just completely gone. Because there's not many people on site at all today, I'm actually able to have a little look amongst the rubble and spot out some cool things. So yeah, right here we've got this massive steel support structure. I'm not actually too sure what this is. I can't tell if that's part of the lift hill that would have taken the boat up to the top of the lift. But here we have a big old chain section from the ride. Over here we've got some more of that kind of steel framework that would have made up the entire lift hill. And then yeah, just down here we've actually got some of the fiberglass just laying around. There's actually a whole lot more just down in this little section, so I'll head down there to show you guys. But yeah, right here we have all of the concrete that, as I mentioned, kind of made up the bottom of the splash zone that the boat would have gone into. All of this would have been filled with water. In fact, I think this is actually some of the support concrete that obviously would have held the entire lift hill up, because yeah, in this little bit we have quite a deep hole. So I believe this probably would have been the tallest point of the drop, and where obviously the pump mechanisms would have taken the water up so it could then run down the big drop. So yeah, I think this is a lot of the support concrete and all of that good stuff. Because yeah, like this is very similar to obviously the brand new ground pins that I showed a good few episodes back, which will of course be going into all of this ground when Exodus is built. But yeah, this is obviously one that's been taken out for Loggers Leap. I always say how it's interesting how we're seeing this entire ride taken down, and the opposite is going to happen when Exodus is built. Like, they took out the fiberglass first. That'll be like when they put up the track for Project Exodus. They took out the supports, and obviously the supports will be going in for Exodus, and they've taken out obviously the foundations there, which will be one of the first things that happen in regards to Exodus. But yeah, here we have some big old pieces of the loggers track. Look at that. That's so weird to see, just laying out there. So yeah, I think they've already cleared quite a lot of this area. But obviously it's quite a big job. It's a massive lift hill, wasn't it? So yeah, still got a few bits in here. And here we have a big old section of what would have been the lift hill. So the boat would have kind of gone along that and taken up this big old lift hill, ready to drop down just down there. Now, unfortunately, as I said, I don't have any footage of the actual lift hill going down. Loads of other people managed to capture it, which is awesome to see. But essentially, the way they did it is they had a massive crane in this area, and they basically just took it apart piece by piece. The reason they couldn't just like demolish it like they did with the Creek Creek Massacre building and the old Canada Creek railway station is because there's literally a lake on this side, and then on the other side you've obviously got the Monk's Walk public footpath. So they had to be very careful in taking this down. That's why it took a bit longer than, as I said, the other buildings in the area. But yeah, just down here we've got the last remaining bits. I was hoping I'd be able to capture them taking this down. It doesn't seem like it's happening today, but as and when that does happen, I'll try my best to be on site to capture that last little bit coming out. But I don't know if that'll be a priority, to be honest, at this point, because Exodus's layout doesn't really go past this point of the lake. You obviously have your main section of the ride experience over on that side of the lake, but when it does cross over the lake, it never really comes past this point where I'm stood at now. And obviously it goes into the brake run and straight down into the station. So I don't know if this is going to be a priority or if they might take their time with that bit. But as I said, I'll try my best to capture that bit coming down whenever that happens. So this is actually how the conveyor belt for the Loggers Leap second lift hill would have worked. This massive barrel would have basically pulled around that conveyor belt to take the Loggers Leap boat up to the top of the lift hill. But yeah, where I'm stood right now is the base of that second lift hill. And yeah, as you can see, it's literally like an old roller coaster tycoon ride where you just delete the track. It just ends. It's absolutely bizarre to see. And yeah, this is all that remains of Loggers Leap's second lift hill at this point. If I pick the camera up, I'll actually show you around because this area is really, really cool to see. And obviously it's been hidden behind this big metal fence for so many years. But yeah, this is where your boat for Loggers Leap would come. You come around from the lake and make your way up towards that second lift hill. And I love the fact that these signs are still here. It's so cool to see, especially this one, smile for the camera. I've got a beautiful photo showing like that sign and then the lift hill, it just ends. But yeah, this is all that remains at this point. And yeah, as you can see, this is like the metal thing that I showed you just down the path there. But yeah, if I make my way just down the side of this lift hill, I'll take you literally underneath where it just ends. Because yeah, we've got one more kind of big steel structure that they obviously haven't taken down yet. And yeah, from there, it's just these kind of single supports holding up this part of the second lift hill. But yeah, how weird is that to see? It just ends up in the sky. I don't know why, but there's just something amazing about being down this end of Old Town and just away from like the busyness of the construction site. It's very like calming and serene down here. I really like it. And yeah, you actually get a cool view from here of the other part of Loggers Leap, which is still in place, which is the part that actually crosses over the lake. And as I said, I don't necessarily know how long that part of Loggers Leap is going to be there, because I'm wondering if they're going to kind of do the main bit of the lake infill so that they can then easily get some construction vehicles down to that end of the lake to then take out that bit. Because at the moment, that part of the ride is completely over the water, which means it's obviously quite tricky to get out. But yeah, at this point, it's literally just that section of Loggers. I think there's still a little bit in that kind of foresty section. And then you've got the little bit that comes around to the base of the lift hill. And then you've obviously just got this little bit of the lift hill remaining. And then once those bits are out, and actually I think there's a little bit still around there where you used to come out of the station of Loggers. So yeah, there's a few little sections of Loggers Leap remaining, but I'm sure it won't be too long at all before this entire ride is taken down. But yeah, as I said, it doesn't seem like they're going to be taking this down today. I was hoping they would be, but I'll have to try and find someone to speak to find out a time frame as to when we can expect this to come down. But yeah, this is all that remains at this point. Look at that. Wow, it really is a muddy one today. I'm literally having to kick off my boots every few steps just to get rid of all of the rubble. Look at that. Look at the size of my foot. It's all just mud that gets collected on there. But yeah, I've made my way up to the bank that used to run alongside of the Platform 15 horror maze. So yeah, this is where you would have kind of headed down into Screechfry Village. And it's now just so weird to see it in this state because it doesn't really exist anymore. That pathway is no longer really there. But yeah, the main reason that I've come up here is because it gives you an amazing oversight over the entire Project Exodus construction site. Look at this. So yeah, obviously not long ago at all, we would have had the Loggers Leap second drop there. It's now fully gone, obviously apart from that little bit at the start there. And then yeah, as you can see, the entirety of the rest of the site is pretty much flat at this point, which is so exciting. It means that very soon we're going to start seeing those foundations put in, and not long after that the supports, and then the ride itself will start going up. Yeah, even the views of Saw the Ride from here are amazing. I've said it so many times now, guys, but I'll say it again. If you're going to go on a ride this year, make it be Saw the Ride. I think that's going to be a very popular choice for the first ride of the day for a lot of people on the annual pass day and when the park actually opens in just a few weeks time. Because yeah, it's going to be people's like first opportunity to see into this site, and realistically it's going to be the best opportunity that you're able to have to kind of view the construction for the UK's tallest roller coaster. So yeah, people are going to be riding that, not caring about the ride itself, just looking over at the construction site the whole time, and I don't blame them, because the views you're going to be able to get are insane. But yeah, just standing up here, it's so weird to think how much this area's already changed and how much it's going to change over the next few months. There's literally going to be a massive roller coaster. In fact, I'd go as far to say as where I'm stood, like literally now, is in line with where the lift hill's going to be. Kind of straight down this path. The drop will probably be in front of me. We'll do a lot of the layout just on this side. A massive turnaround section will be around here. And then yeah, you'll obviously go around, splash down in the lake in this kind of area, and then go round into the brake run and into the station of the ride. But yeah, it's just so good to be back on site, guys. I'm so happy that I'm able to continue bringing you guys these updates. And yeah, I'm just so excited for the theme park itself to open now, and people can start seeing the construction site for themselves from the likes of Saw, Colossus, Samurai. And yeah, the excitement's just going to grow. And as I said, these updates are not going to stop. If anything, they're just going to get more and more regular throughout the year as track and supports and all of that fun stuff starts to arrive. So yeah, be sure to subscribe to the channel to lock in to so much Project Exodus content. I'm so happy to be back. But yeah, for today's episode, I'm going to leave it here because my hands are absolutely freezing. My shoes are pretty ruined. But it's all for the love of it, guys. I'm absolutely in my element right now. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching yet another Project Exodus construction update. My name's TheJackSilkstone. Goodbye.